Achieving ketosis is not easy. In this video, I'm going to give you the top 5 causes where so many people struggle to get in ketosis. And we're going to get started right now. Well, hello everyone, I'm Dr. Glenn Harrison and welcome to this week's segment of Why. This is where we take just a few minutes to answer some of the most common health-related questions and concerns that I see in my clinic every day. So the question today is, Doctor, how do I get into ketosis? I'm trying, I'm working my tail off and I'm not seeing the benefits. So if you are watching this, you probably understand what ketosis is. But simply put, it's your body starting to use fat as a form of energy. And this is called nutritional ketosis in this regard, or what we're looking for. So the top 5 reasons that I see people, regardless of their efforts, they don't get into ketosis, and then they don't get the benefits of it. They don't get the really significant weight loss. They don't get the brain function and brain function improvement. They don't get that energy surge. So these are just some of many things that can help if you can get into ketosis. So here are the things that I see in my clinic. So number 1, the first thing that I see that people tend to forget is alcohol. So alcohol is, you could just say it's sugar, without putting all the other things in it that we mix our drinks with. But alcohol can sabotage our ketogenic efforts. And to get into ketosis, sometimes it's this hard push. But once you break through and start burning fat for fuel, everything gets easier. And during this push, until you get up there, you gotta stay away from alcohol. Alcohol will sabotage your efforts. Always, okay? Especially if you're struggling. And if you're listening to this, you're probably challenged with it. Okay, and then the other thing here, I guess I should say, how do we know if we're in ketosis? Well, there's a few simple things. You should be able to track and trace and find ketones. And the easiest tests are urine, there's a saliva test, there's a breath test. Those are the big ones. Urine is the one that I recommend. Get these urine ketone test strips. These are diabetic test strips, and you can check your urine and you'll have ketones passing through, okay? So, but our goal isn't diabetic ketoacidosis, it's nutritional ketosis. There's two different things. So anyway, so the number 1, first thing is alcohol, not necessarily in this order, but alcohol will sabotage your efforts. Avoid it 100% while you're in that phase pushing to achieve it. Okay, and to achieve ketosis, sometimes it can take people a month, even more. Okay, so be patient. No alcohol. There's one. Now that's hopefully it's an easy one. The second one is excessive protein. I've personally done this, trying to get in ketosis, consuming too much protein, and I wouldn't get into it, and it was harder for me to get into it. So simple rule of thumb, and I'm not going to give any metrics here, but we should have absolute minimal or eliminate all simple carbohydrates. That's one part of a ketogenic diet. Another one is reduced protein or minimal protein, depending on what your body needs. If you're working with a healthcare provider, they can dial it in. So minimal or eliminate simple carbohydrates. The second thing is reduced protein, okay, because that can compromise it. And then the third thing is, of course, high fat in your diet. So too much protein is the second thing that I see. And if we're removing starches and carbohydrates, we tend to lean more on protein and it sabotages us. So that's number 2. Number 3, the third thing that I see is a little bit more, complex. It's more of a disorder. And it's the inability to properly absorb fat. So fat malabsorption. And what will happen with this? How do you know if you have a problem with fat? A lot of times it's people who've had gallbladder removals or had gallbladder attacks. Those people have a harder time to absorb the fat, get the energy. And ketogenic diets has to focus on fat. So people have a hard time to absorb fat due to gallbladder problems and other problems. Low energy. People with low energy tend to have a harder time to absorb fat. So you've got to kind of be careful with this. Other symptoms would be eat avocados or high-fat food, and then you have to go to the bathroom. You get bloating, abdominal distension, then when you have a bowel movement, there's temporarily improvement till you eat that food again. And stool will be greasy and floating. That means fat is passing through. You're not getting the energy from fat. You're not absorbing it. So third thing, fat malabsorption. Okay. Now the fourth thing, sleep deprivation. That's a big one I see when people are trying to push ketosis. Because, again, nutritional ketosis is to get your body to tap into fat storage, to kind of starve your body from sugar and things that increase sugar in your body, in your diet. And sugar comes from two avenues. Okay, when I say sugar, I mean blood sugar elevations, not necessarily dietary sugar. But dietary sugar or blood sugar elevations come from the food you consume. That's ketogenic diets, navigate around that. And then the other avenue is stress responses. And sleep deprivation increases your stress response, increasing a hormone called cortisol. One avenue of increasing cortisol increases cortisol, and cortisol has one major job, and that's to increase your blood sugar. So you could eat like a broke church mouse, if that's a thing, but if you're in a sleep-deprived state, you're going to spike your cortisol, and you're going to get direct blood sugar like you're eating cookies. I always call it cortisol cookies. So sleep quality matters, sleep quantity matters when you're trying to get in ketosis. Okay, so proper sleep, absolutely critical. And then if you're not sleeping enough, you're not getting enough growth hormone high enough. If you're not getting enough growth hormone, you're not firing your metabolism and increasing it. Okay, because to get into ketosis, you also need energy, so you need to have sleep. Okay, so that's number 4, sleep deprivation. Let sleep be part of your plan. It's number 1 in my clinic. Then the fifth thing is cortisol elevations. I told you about what cortisol is. So any sleep deprivation will increase cortisol, but any physical, chemical, or emotional stress response will increase a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol has one job: to increase your circulating blood sugar. And if you have high circulating blood sugar, your body will use that as a form of energy versus tapping into fat storage to produce ketones. So any of these stress responses need to be corrected. Another thing that increases, so cortisol stimulation, I could call it, so stress responses, physical, chemical, or emotional. And then another one is stimulants like caffeine. Caffeine is a stimulant. Caffeine, there's a place for it, and I'm not anti-caffeine, only selected individuals, but don't rely a bunch on coffee and caffeine and other forms of stimulants. These are adrenal stimulants. That's why you get the energy from them. But that stimulates cortisol. You spike your cortisol elevation climbs, and then your blood sugar climbs. So if you have a lot of coffee in the morning, that can heighten your cortisol, heighten your blood sugar, and shut down all weight loss opportunities for the entire day. Okay, so there's a few things about how to get into ketosis. These aren't all easy by no means, but to get into nutritional ketosis, for many people, it's a lot more than just a diet. So there's a lot here. So hopefully you found this helpful. I know it's kind of a crash course on some things, but hopefully maybe it can help you with this. And if you're dealing with some health challenges, even weight challenges, I'm not a weight loss clinic, but I work on the mechanisms that cause the weight problem. If you're dealing with any of that and you have health related, you're looking for answers and you're looking for strategy, you can schedule a free 15-minute consultation. At the bottom, you can get right on my calendar directly with me. The link will be in the bottom of the video here, and it's free. It's 15 minutes, and it's designed to see if I can help you, learn about your case, and see if I can help you. So take advantage of that if that works for you. And I look forward to talking to you the next day, where we're going to answer the why to another health-related question. Have a great day.